So I decided to do a real-time drawing session on the beach here. This is my setup. I got my pencil crayons and a little bit of paint, tablet with my reference photo on it, and here's all the crap that I brought and didn't really use. Definitely don't need to bring that much. So I'm going to use this reference photo I took of a saber-toothed tiger skeleton. Nothing super original, a lot of people do this. And I'm going to do it with pencil crayon. I'm going to do it really lightly because I know it's not going to be perfect, using basic shapes to start out with. And of course, I think I drew it a little bit too close to the bottom because I don't have any room for the front feet, so now I'm gonna have to draw it again, but a little bit smaller and much higher up to make space for that. You know, I did this in pencil crayon, so I can't erase it, but it's not gonna matter because people will follow the correct lines. I'm doing this quite lightly, and so when I'm ready, I'll just outline it much darker, and then you wouldn't even really notice the mistake sketch that I did. Trust me. I think a lot of people get really hung up on getting things perfect, and this is why it's not a great idea to start doing fine details and coloring work in one place and do it kind of unevenly, like most of us do when we're first starting out, because then, you know, you get to the point where you're like, well, crap, I have to redo all of this to fix. This is a voiceover, by the way. I didn't really want to be talking to a camera on the side of a beach and have my voice carry across the water and people were like, who the hell is she talking to? You know what I mean? And yeah, I'm just gonna keep kind of building up my rough shapes. So this was a kind of surprise camping, semi-surprise. I didn't really think that we were gonna go this year because we were already gone. But I decided to go anyway because it just seemed like a nice way to disconnect as much as I could. There's no good internet out here, and so I thought it would be a really good time to sit down, just digest the things that we saw on our trip, because it felt really jam-packed. And I'm not sure if I felt like I got this in this trip. I did a little bit of sketchbook work, but I've been feeling kind of spacey and weird for a little while, not really knowing what I'm doing with this channel, what I'm doing with my art. Maybe it's because I haven't done a finished personal piece for a little while, and I was really hoping that this week, having not very many outside stimulation, I could work on the traveling sketchbook thing. But guys, it's been hot. Every time we go camping on Vancouver Island, we always arrive exactly during a heat wave. It's not like a roughing it kind of situation. We have a bit of plumbing and a bit of electricity, but we're still, you know, in a tent. And so we've been sitting outside in, you know, 38 degrees Celsius sunshine every day, and it just like, it melts my brain and it makes me not really work on things that much. So I've just been doing maybe like 2 sketches early in the morning, and then the afternoons we spend floating down the river on tubes. And I know no one really cares about that. Like, several hours of our day is just floating on water. The access to the river that most people use has been closed, and so we have no choice but to start up at Stamp Falls, and then after that you can tube down the river for like hours. But this year the river is just so high, and there's a lot more like different fallen trees in very challenging areas this time. It's been fun, but you know, I fell off my tube for the first time. Like, it wasn't really that scary, but I've always been scared of that, and like I always been scared of falling in a bunch of rocks and like busting my legs or something, and then being in the middle of a river and not having any way to get out of the river and not having any internet or phone. But it was fine, and it was fun, and I got heat rash. I'm the color of a hot dog bun. I always struggle with drawing vertebra, and so when I get to like the vertebrae, the spine, I'm just kind of mostly trying to follow the general shape of it, but most of it just looks like nonsense to me. Like, you ever get that where you're like, you're trying to draw from a reference or from life or something, but what you're looking at doesn't make any visual sense? Things like these bones. Water is a tough one. Trees that have a lot of leaves and repetitive shapes. Mechanical stuff, you know, like a lot of textures, and so your brain kind of glosses over it, like you can't even see it or comprehend it, and you're just like, I don't want to draw this, I can't draw this. That's how I feel about the spine. I just gloss over that. So about art in general, I also decided to take some ebooks with me. I took 2 ebooks by Rafi Perez. It was the Artist Marketing Guide and the Money Guide, talking about how like they've been able to build a very modest and very attainable artist life and lifestyle. And so while a lot of the books were familiar at this point, it did prompt a lot of questions like what kind of artist you are, and kind of thinking about your value in the art industry, like what you specifically can offer the world, which is really hard for a lot of people. Most of the time I feel like I have a bit of a handle on that, but then I drift around and I get into this headspace where I'm like, should I even post anything on social media? Like, what is my point? You know, there's so much art out there already that if somebody just wanted to decorate their house or have a picture of a dinosaur with flowers on it, like they can find that literally anywhere. Do I really need to be here? Those kind of questions. It turned this, oh, I'm just going to spend this week thinking about my trip and digest it, record it somehow in a way that is visually pleasing, like turning it into an art project. And then I started thinking like, maybe this is a time where I should be reflecting a little bit deeper. Like maybe I should be thinking about niching down, you know, like what is my thing? Like what am I going to be known for? And believe it or not, I paused before I recorded this video because I thought, what if people find dinosaurs to be offensive? You know, because there are some people out there who can't fit it in with their theistic lifestyle, let's say, that it makes them angry. And so I'm just like, if I draw this and present it to the world, like, am I going to get haters? Like, is somebody going to be upset about this? But like the theory of evolution in like a really low-key way is responsible for a lot of the good things in my outlook. And so I take so much inspiration from the natural world. I really love finding new plants and new bugs and just like looking at them and thinking about them and how they could have evolved to become the way that they are, and just feeling like really awe-inspired in that for my environment where I get to see so many of these things, because it makes all the human crap look so insignificant and small, and it helps me find a place where I fit in the world, because I never really related much to, it sounds so lame, but like, you know, society. I don't really fit in with the consumerist lifestyle, the newest whatever. I don't really drive, I don't breed, like I don't really do a lot of the things that we're supposed to want to do. And all of the fun things that I want to do is just walking, it's connecting with nature, finding something new, you know, all this annoying little kid shit that anyone can do. You don't have to pay to do, you can just do it. And so I was thinking, I feel like that is closest to what my place in the world is as an artist. Like I really wish that I could bottle that and project it out and share it and help other people feel like this human shit is actually kind of small when you put it on a cosmic scale, if that makes sense. And I haven't really been able to build that into anything meaningful during this trip because it's just been so freaking hot and my brain is melted. But that's definitely like something that I kind of want to try to polish a little bit so that I can kind of come back with something that can serve others. It sounds like really egotistical, but that's art for you. Art just makes you feel like a narcissist a little bit. I was using watercolor to add color to this, even though this paper sucks. I think it's some kind of sketchbook paper, so it doesn't take color very well, but it takes color enough. That's the beauty of watercolor, is that it can look like crap, it can not be correct, you can just use it to color and splash and paint things, and it'll still look kind of cool. Oh my god, I keep having to move all of my stuff because the sun is moving and it is just roasting me alive. So every like few cuts you're gonna see some brand new rocks. And I was kind of worried about this goose that's on the other side of the river because he's been alone for a while. We've seen this goose over there for like 3 days. It's got lots of fresh water and I don't know what the hell goose eat, but every once in a while a giant eagle or a heron will come around and he'll freak out. So I'm thinking like, we're just kind of like curious about this goose over here. But anyway, I'm going to build up this green color to give it some more contrast inside the ribs. Got all these leaves and flowers sticking out of this cat's, you know, butthole. Eraser didn't do much to erase any of the old lines when I erased it, but you can barely even see the messed up drawing. I mean, you can see it, but you're not really seeing it, you know what I mean? Like, it's not distracting. It's not something that you should worry about. All you can do is move forward. And I added a bit more vague greenery down there because I noticed that this picture looks a little bit heavy to the top left because the composition is like a boat. If you lean too hard on one side, you'll sink it, or you'll flip over your tube and land in the deep water like I did. But yeah, I didn't vlog very much of it because I didn't think anyone would really care, and I don't really have a waterproof camera, so it wouldn't be that interesting. Anyway, if you like this style of video where it's a little bit slower and I'm mostly just talking and going through the process, this is the kind of video that I do on Patreon most of the time, so come check us out over there if you want more like this. Or just like it and let me know, and maybe I can just do more of these. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me while I'm doing this, and I'll see you some other time. Bye!